Everybody knows the UAE has lots of modern iconic places.
Not so many people know. We also have some old places, very old places.
This is Tel Abrak in Sharjah. So, how old is this area?
Tel Abrak used to be right on the coast. Here, during the Bronze Age, boats from India and Iraq would pull up on the beach and load supplies and copper.
This is the well. In Tel Abrak, for 2,000 years, people used this well to get the water.
Most settlements along this part of the coast only lasted for a few hundred years. Then the wells would dry up and the town would be deserted. Tel Abrak is the only one we know of that lasted for more than 2,000 years.
Let's think about how old these places are. The UAE was formed in 1971 CE. The Prophet Muhammad was born in 570 CE. Jesus was born in 4 BC. Camels were first ridden around 1000 BC. From 1500 BC, people started using iron. Archaeologists call this the Iron Age. Around 2500 BC, the pyramids were built in Egypt. Around 3000 BC, the first horses were ridden. From 3500 BC, people started using bronze. This is called the Bronze Age. Around 5000 BC is called the Stone Age.
To the south of Tel Abrak is another important site from the Iron Age. This is Mwelih. It is not as old as Tel Abrak, but it is still old.
Coins and pottery have been found here that show that Muwila had contact with India and China in the east and with Egypt and the Mediterranean in the west.
A lot of interesting things were found in this area, and now it is in the Sharjah Museum.
Let's head away from the coast and see what we find.
This is Jabal Hafid. This place is very old. It goes back to the Stone Age.
Here we find evidence of humans going back around 7,000 years. These are some of the oldest sites in the Middle East. Back then, the climate was probably not so dry, and rain runoff from the mountains meant there was always water to be found here.
These tombs are around 7,000 years old, older than the pyramids.
So this is where our ancient ancestors lived. Does that mean modern Emiratis are related to these ancient people?
This is a really good question, and the answer is we don't know. When DNA studies were done in England, the results showed that the modern people in most areas were not related to the Iron Age people. Will it be the same in the UAE? Or will we find that modern Emiratis are directly descended from these ancient people? We won't know the answer until this is studied.
This is Hilly Park. It's about the same age as Tel Abrak.
In these old places, you can feel the presence of the ancient people who once lived here. They had friends, enemies, joy and hardship. They lived rich and full lives here. They were our desert ancestors.